Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. I hope you guys are having a great week thus far. It is Wednesday, August 20th, 4:15 out here in Pacific time in hot as balls, Arizona. Guys, hopefully everything goes well with the stream here because we're approaching a super hot streak here in the area. The real feel right now, actual air temperature 113, real feel 120. No joke, just checked it out. So and yeah, don't even say dry heat because in August that ain't how it goes out here in the desert. But I hope you guys are having a great one. Gosh, it feels like I've been sitting in front of the computer hanging out with either you guys here on the Davey Deathray channel or kicking it with everybody over on Fachi Cinema last night because I just can't stop going live because the news doesn't stop coming in, and it's very exciting. Last night, after I ranked the Friday the 13th franchise with Matt over on Fachi Cinema, I hopped on over here and we covered some brand new Crystal Lake set photos that dropped from our guy Friday the 13th Archivist on Instagram. And then today, when I'm in the middle of late night with the Davey before dark with our guy Lito Velasco, you know, talking about weapons and talking about Lito's career and just a little bit of everything here and there, Ben Grimm jumps on in and is like, new Halloween video game trailer just dropped. So boom, bomb dropped on the Halloween trailer. I heard there was something that might come from the Halloween people today, but it didn't seem very well defined. I love when this, you know, take note, Jason Universe. Don't talk about a project or a product until you're ready to show it. I think that's one thing that the Halloween people do really well. That's one thing that Malik Akkad is extraordinary at. And one of the reasons why Halloween is the greatest slasher franchise of all time and why Michael is the king of slashers. And it's not even close, guys. It is a joke right now. Talk about a landslide victory for best slasher villain and best slasher franchise of all time. It's so not even close. But thank you guys so much for joining us here. It's the middle of the day. I get it. For some of you folks on the East Coast, it's early evening. And if you're catching this after the fact, thank you so much. It really does help give the stream a little bit of an extra life. And if you're watching, whether it's live or after the fact, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. And yeah, if you're watching after the fact, let me know in the comments your thoughts on the Halloween video game trailer. But it's not only that we're going to talk about, guys, because Friday the 13th Archivist dropped a new batch of photos. So we have 8 photos to look at from the Crystal Lake TV show set, and these are, we get to see some actors in action, so in a really moody shot of Crystal Lake. So I'm going to tease you with that right now. We're gonna start with the Halloween business. That's what the thumbnail is. That's what brought us here. And thank you so much to all the lovely people in my life for the encouraging what do I want to call it, positive harassment over the Halloween video game trailer. I've got our guy Eli Cortez hit me up with a link for the trailer, and then on Cecil Laird, my guy from the Horror Show channel, the president of the Horror Show channel, reached out on our group text and was like, Davey, how have you not covered this yet? And I was like, how do you not have notifications set and see that I'm about to go live and talk about it? But again, I will call it good harassment. To me, it's great. I mean, it's not even harassment. It's a joke to call it that. I love that people, you know, the fact that when you guys see something drop that's new, whatever it is, if it sparks some sort of, I'm sure there's plenty of people that you think about when you see these things, depending on the franchise. But if there's any little part of your mind and you know, that's like, this is something Davey would like, then that is absolutely flattering and awesome. I take that as a point of pride, and it's one of the reasons why I love you guys so much. So thank you so much for, you know, making sure that I don't miss anything. And please continue to do that. I encourage everyone to do that. Holy cow, middle of the day, we got 15 people kicking it with us. I'm going to say what's up to everybody, and then we're going to get into this Halloween video game news. Guys, let me know in the chat Have you watched the trailer yet? I watched it once, and then I was like, oh, I got to go live with this. And I'm saving the rest for you guys. So I have a little bit of a time crunch here today because I do have a work meeting in 70 minutes. Maybe I can eat dinner before then. We'll see. You guys come first, though. I can, I could stand to do without a couple meals, if you know what I'm saying. I got a little bit of a tummy. We got Lamontre Gillard in the chat. What's happening, Lamontre? Great to see ya. He says he's low-key excited. Okay. I'm very excited because, well, we'll talk about it when we really get into it. Ashton Luck, what's happening, Ashton? Great to see you. One of our great channel members, Hollywood Lido, and of course our guest earlier on Late Night with the Davey Before Dark. Guys, if you missed that live stream, no worries. Hop on in, check out the replay, leave us a comment, let us know your thoughts on weapons and just what you think about the conversation in general. It was an absolute pleasure having Lido on. We got Gory Tiger in the chat. What's happening, Gory? Great to see ya. Gene Whitacombe, how you doing, Gene? Brett from Good Real Hunting, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods, jumping in to say, watching Survivor with my mom night. Have a great stream and excited for the Halloween game. Thank you so much, Brett. Really appreciate you. We got Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members, jumping on in. What's happening, Antonis? Antonis has a question. I'm going to star that and save it for later, Antonis. That way we can discuss it after we take a look at the trailer itself. How about that? We got T. Parker Evans. He says, I've been waiting 47 years for this game. Evil Games tonight. There you go. I was like, wait, T, are you 47 years old? And I'm like, oh no, Halloween is 47 years old. Okay. Let's see here. We got Erica in the house. What's happening, Erica? So great to see ya. I need to get back to you, Erica, but it's been wall-to-wall, crazy busy. I haven't even had time to stop and think or eat or anything. Well, I was able to hop in the shower. That's the only thing I've been able to do other than take care of business with the channel. I am trying to make this dream work and make this my job, essentially, is what I want to do with what we're doing here. Which, speaking of that, I did put a super chat goal in the chat there. If you want me to host a late night stream tomorrow night at about midnight Eastern, then go ahead and contribute to that. 10 super chats of $1.99 or more. It's not a requirement, but it certainly is appreciated if you're into it. And then I also have a poll in the chat. What's your favorite recent horror game? Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or Until Dawn? And yeah, I left out Last of Us. I'm sorry. I'm not a modern gamer, so I just went with the first handful that I saw. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I'm going to jump back on over with you guys. Air conditioning is on. Yes, absolutely. Got to do that. We got Tyler Adams in the chat. What's happening, Tyler? Have not watched it yet. Just saying what's up to everyone. Holy cow. All of a sudden, we went from 15 people to 29 people watching the stream. You guys are amazing. Make sure you hit that like button and we'll get even more people in here. And of course, if you're hanging out in the live chat, let me know how excited you are for this Halloween video game. We got Max King Horror. What's happening, Maxwell? Hope you're doing well. We've got Amanda in the house. How you doing, Amanda? We've got Kevin Owens. What will it play like? You know, I would imagine, since it's coming from Gun Interactive, that it's going to look and play like the Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre games. So we'll take a look at all that. Let me see who else we got. Pat, that Halloween movie collector. We know he's going to get a hard copy of this game because he's that Halloween movie collector. Although movie collectors, does that go over into the video games, Pat? Do you have a copy of Halloween on Atari? I'm not sure if you do. We got Brent Madison joining us here. How you doing, Brent? So great to see you. And of course, Pat is one of our great channel members. Thank you so much for your membership. Kevin, we will get to that. We don't, no spam in the chat. Let's play nice, everyone. T. Parker says, since they announced Halloween game, it's officially spooky season. I'm literally drinking iced pumpkin spice coffee. Love it. I love it. We got Todd Bound in the chat. How are you doing, Todd? Dynamite Tiger. New trailer looks rad. Yeah. We got What's happening? Talk to me, Angry Face. Ooh. I don't know what that means. I will talk to you, though. I will talk to you. Yes, hit that like button. I'm not mad, Davey, just disappointed. Oh, I love it. I love it. Do have an original 2600 game. That's awesome. None of the above. I vote for Alan Wake 2 or the Silent Hill 2 remake. I am so out of the game, out of the loop, Jamie, on all of the hot game. You know, and YouTube only lets me pick 4 options, unfortunately. Awesome. Thank you so much, Maxwell. Really appreciate the 2-pounder. Says, gotta show my support. Really do appreciate it, man. Again, these things are not required. I just want you guys to hang out and have a great time. But if you want a little something extra, it certainly does help keep the dream alive. We got Bill from the Everscathe, stoked for the new Halloween game. I'm hoping it stays in third person as I get motion sickness from first-person video games. I would imagine there will be options. There might be a VR option that really puts you in Michael's spot, but I'm a third-person kind of guy as well. I get motion sickness from VR, and I don't get motion sickness in anything else. Cars, roller coasters, planes, nothing else. But for whatever reason, VR makes me feel like I'm gonna... But yeah, third person, like Resident Evil 4. If every game could control and have a feel like Resident Evil 4, I would play a lot more games. Okay, we got Adrian James in the house, and now I've officially said hello to everybody except for Destiny Faulkner, one of our great Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Dez? Are you a gamer, Dez? I don't even know that about you. I feel like I've just kind of let you down as a friend by not asking you that question. I feel like we get to know each other virtually, but here I am just not asking the most important questions like, are you a gamer? That's nothing new for me. I do disappoint quite often, even myself most often. No, I'm just joking. Speaking of not disappointing people, officially 14 days, 2 weeks, no alcohol, and I'm feeling, as you can tell, I'm just very, very hopped up. Can't do VR, makes me sick. I like Call of Duty, Fortnite, and I played TCM. There it is. I'm such an old school gamer because I'm old. Guys, I'm 43, if you're keeping track. And mostly I play Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Sega Genesis. Usually those are the video games I play. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this, and hopefully Compass International Pictures or any of the other production companies involved, don't beat the hell out of me for this one. I'm really, really hoping. But we are going to check out this video game teaser trailer. Now, just, pay attention to the trailer if you have questions, because it does look, I think it specifically says at the beginning that this is not gameplay footage. So this is probably some part of the cinematic. And then let's also keep in mind, this is probably not the absolute finished product. I would imagine we're probably 80 to 90% there as far as the visuals go and everything. But I would imagine that stuff is going to look even better. And again, no gameplay. This is essentially a teaser, just a little something to whet the appetite, a little bit of a cock tease, if you would, which I certainly appreciate. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring this up. How about that? Look at that. I actually have this shit ready, guys. I know. Very, very different for the Davey Deathray channel, but I'm going to cut the music. So yeah, there we go. The sound of silence, everyone. How about it? Okay, are you guys pumped? Are you ready? Let me know in the chat. Throw out those pumpkin emojis, those knife emojis, whatever, to let me know if you're ready to watch the Halloween video game trailer. Guys, this is set to come out 2026. They haven't announced a month or anything, but it comes to us by Illfonic, Compass International Pictures, and Gun Interactive. So let's go ahead and get this going. I am so pumped to see what you guys think and to chat with you about it afterwards. So here we go.
A quiet town, just like hundreds of other small towns all across America. A town just like yours. But it was here on October 31st, 1963. No motive, no warning, no provocation, just senseless death. I met him 15 years ago. I thought there was hope, that he could be reached. But what I met was not a child. No emotion. Perhaps not even human. 15 years later, he returned home. But what happened that night was only the beginning. It wasn't just a killing spree. It was a reckoning.
Whoa, calm down.
He was going to reach it. Come on, we have to go.
No.
You can't stop him. You can't reason with him. You can't kill the boogeyman.
Oh, baby. Oh my goodness. I am going to replay that with the sound off just while we talk about everything. So let me get the tunes back on here. There we go. Yeah, this looks really good. I mean, you know, again, this is not the gameplay, but I love this as a tease. I like that, you know, clearly we can tell here that the camera is not only moving along the road, but it is also getting closer to the houses. So it's got this diagonal movement to it. They've done a great job, you know, with John Carpenter as executive producer. They've done a really good job of just capturing that look and that feel, that kind of Dean Cundy sort of vibe with the long tracking shots here. And I love the creativity on the movement of the camera. You guys know that I'm all about that when we're watching, or when I'm watching movies. I'm just, what do I say? It makes my pants tight. I love placement and movement of camera. And yeah, we just get that little bit of a tease here. It's, you know, kind of like a moment from one of the movies. And it does look like this is taking place in the late 70s. It looks like we're right back there. Just judging by the, you know, the Craftsman homes look brand new. Or at least, like, you know, like they were built the decade before. From the clothes that our, you know, babysitter or, you know, whoever this female character is, looks very, you know, period perfect, period appropriate for late 70s. This shot here, I mean, Michael being side backlit kind of and coming out of the shadows. I mean, this is how we want to see Michael presented. And then to pan down and have it go right to that pumpkin, you know, so cinematic, so reminiscent of everything we love. They really are hitting all the nostalgia points for me. And I know it's just a tease here. We're not getting like the full, you know, scope of what the game could be. But guys, if you are familiar with the Friday the 13th video game or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game, then you do know what we can expect. You know, so it sounds like single player and multiplayer. You know, it's going to feel like those video games, but it's going to be specific to the Halloween universe. And I think the really great thing here, because I'm sure a lot of people have questions about like, well, you know, the Friday the 13th game went by the wayside. They took it offline. The same thing happened with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. And I don't know exactly why that happened with TCM, but here's the thing, you know, when it comes to Compass International and Trancas and Malik Akkad and John Carpenter's involvement, the Halloween franchise is in such good hands and such better hands than any of the other horror franchises that we've loved for decades. So I think that rest assured, this game is not going to be one of those games that gets yanked offline like a year and a half into its life. We're not going to be running into any rights issues or anything like that, because that's not the way Malik Akkad and the Halloween franchise goes. These guys got their heads screwed on straight. It's like being a sports fan and you might just get sick of your ownership. They keep on making stupid moves, and then other sports fans have ownership where it just seems like they always make the right moves, you know? So I feel like that's kind of what's going on with Team Michael, Team Halloween. They know how to treat this character. They know how to respect him. And most of all, they know what we want as fans, and they know how to take care of us and give us what we want and nurture us, because we're their lifeblood. You know, we're what fills their pockets with cash. And yes, that may be true that they want our money. But what I love about the way they treat us is it's not, you know, they're not patronizing us. They're not asking us to lick up the slop and act like it is a 5-star meal. They really are giving us quality products and quality media time and time again. Even if you don't like the David Gordon Green trilogy, you can't deny that it's not a slick product that fits the Halloween universe. You may not like the story, but it doesn't, you know, those movies aren't incompetent. They're beyond competent. They're, you know, beautiful looking, great music, all that stuff. And here, what we're seeing from the Halloween video game that's slated to be released in 2026, it looks like we're getting something that is looking to be very solid. And I'm excited for this one, guys. Again, I'm a retro gamer. I play a lot of NES, Super Nintendo, and Genesis is basically, that's my wheelhouse. Other than a couple modern games that I really enjoy, Resident Evil 4, you know, the remake of RE4, of course. But this is one of those games, as a Halloween fan, as a Halloween nut with my H45 shirt on here, I'm going to be finding whatever way I can to play this game and enjoy it with all of you guys. And speaking of you guys, I'm curious to know what you think. If you're watching live, let me know in the chat. Are you pumped for this Halloween video game? If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know down below your thoughts on the Halloween video game. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, because we're going to keep on covering horror news right here on the Davey Deathray channel. Hit the notifications and you won't miss a thing. All right, everybody. Holy cow. I can't believe I timed that almost perfectly, but I am going to jump on back over with you guys, and we will talk about the trailer. And thank you so much, everyone, for your patience as I go through, you know, if you might be new here, maybe you don't hop in on all of the news stuff. Some of the bigger news stories I clip out and I share later on. So I just want to make sure to sort of it's a little bit more of a performance, but you guys get to kind of be the fly on the wall that gets to watch. You get to watch the process. So let me scroll back up. I do see it looks like you guys are really chit-chatting about this. So I'm very excited to see what you guys have to say here. Let's see. Tyler says, so happy you're streaming. I need this right now. Hell yeah. We got Brad Underwood in the chat. What's happening, Brad? Bill says the houses and backgrounds already look amazing, and they'll only look better when the game is finalized. Yes, absolutely, Bill. It looks, and again, they don't sit there and say, hey, this thing is coming at some point. They're like, boom, here's the trailer. We're not even gonna like talk about it. You know, it's the perfect, like I said, we're in good hands with Malik and his team. It's show, don't tell. You know, they're just, and yeah, I agree. Everything's looking really good. It is gonna look better as well. A moment of silence for those with ears. That Loomis impression wasn't it. It could be a little better for sure. I like the guy that did the Loomis impression in 2018, just on the little audio tape. I think that's even better than the one in H2O. The one in H2O, there's a softness to it that I just don't think Donald Pleasance quite had. But I hear you. No one's gonna, you know, unless they actually put his voice in there and use AI. I don't know if they're really gonna nail it, you know. Yeah, we'll see once. I'm sure the cast will be listed at some point, you know. The Oct says, let's go. The Loomis voice was pretty good, I thought. Yeah, I think it's serviceable for sure. It definitely didn't put me off by any means. Dynamite Tiger, I think I just pumpkin spiced in my pants. Not gonna lie, but that Loomis impersonation is terrible, but I'm still hyped for the game. I'm middle of the road on the Loomis thing. I'm definitely not gonna get hung up on that. Like if it were a movie, I probably would feel different about it. But seeing as how it's a video game, I don't mind that it's you know, that it's just a little bit different for sure. I wonder if some of the original cast did any voice work on it. That would be very interesting. Yeah, I mean, you could bring back PJ Soul. You could bring back most of those actors and actresses. Yeah. I hope they can clean up those graphics a bit, but it's got me intrigued. Yeah, absolutely. They'll be cleaning that up for sure. I mean, guys, even with even Fantastic Four, was it Fantastic Four? And Superman, the trailers that dropped just weeks before the movie came out, like by the time I saw the movie, they looked so much better. The Silver Surfer it looked like it didn't even look finished until I went and saw the movie. So with video game, it's probably the same thing. They're going to be working on this stuff up until the final minutes for sure. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure that's Kane Hodder playing Myers in this game. He already leaked months ago that he had already done a mocap for Gunn's next game and that it was a role he always wanted to play. That would be really cool. That would be awesome, because he also played Leatherface in the trailer for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. So that way he'd have 4. He'd have the big 4 going on there. Thankfully, I had my Halloween underwear on today for this announcement. His head looks big. Yeah, I mean the mask. Yeah, it is tough to tell because it's backlit, so maybe that makes it look a little bit bigger. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Also, you're right. The Loomis impression sounds awful. Must be talking to T. Illfonic said this game is revolving around the original film only, and we should not expect to see anything from any of the other sequels or reboots. Okay, interesting. You know, and I guess at any point too, Bill, they could release this game, and then if you get, they could always do like a package and a fresh set of characters, down the road, if they wanted to do like the hospital from Halloween 2 or something like that. Yeah. We got Linda G1016 says, fun teaser, definitely intrigued to check out the game. Thank you so much for jumping in and hanging out with us. Video game Michael Myers swings his arm too much. Maybe we're overanalyzing it a little bit too much too. But hey, that's what we're here to do, right? That's what we are here to do. I will say I wish Kane, if he was the one to do the mocap, did a better impression of Nick Castle's walk, but I'm still quite psyched. Yeah, I mean, really what they should have done is grabbed Aaron Armstrong from the Halloween Kills flashback, because that is, to me, I think he's just got it. Like when you see that flashback scene, he looks and moves so much like Michael, so much like Nick Castle's Michael specifically. Yeah. No offense, but I'm pretty bored of Halloween. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will always support a new Halloween movie, but we need other horror villains to shine now. I mean, they are, right? The Terrifier is eating well. Scream's back. Thanksgiving, we're getting that sequel next year. We're getting a sequel to The Black Phone. Halloween's just never going to go away, Antonis, because Michael is like Dracula at this point. When history looks back in 100 or 200 years, he will probably be as important or more than a character like Dracula. Like, no joke, not kidding, and I mean it 100%. I'm glad it has the single player like TCM and Friday the 13th. Hell yeah. I'm about to be broke as fuck for 2026 Halloween. The game, Resident Evil Requiem, and GTA 6. There you go. Yeah. What's happening? We got Robert the Wolfman. Ow, ow! In the house. One of our great channel members, Death Squad mods, and one of my teammates over at the Horror Show channel. Come on, Chucky, step up your game. Yeah, I mean, the products that they've been putting out for Chucky just haven't, Chucky, just for whatever reason, isn't gripping the audience that Michael does. It's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, looks like I'm almost caught up with everybody. I'm absolutely hyped to hear John Carpenter's score for the game. Yeah, and maybe they're gonna put together new renditions of some of these tracks, or maybe add some new flavor on the music side. That they could also just grab what they already have from the original film, and maybe even grab some cuts from the new trilogy if they want something different. But it is great to see that Carpenter is executive producer. I mean, it's no secret that he is a big gamer himself, so I'm sure he's got personal investment that goes beyond being one of the creators of Halloween. I think there's also probably some personal investment to make sure that it's a fun gaming experience for all of us, and hopefully a game that he'll enjoy playing as well. Guys, there is kind of a myth. I almost thought, I was thinking maybe I should make a pre-recorded video about this, that one of the biggest myths in Hollywood is that John Carpenter is a grump or a jerk or a curmudgeon. That's sort of like to me, it's almost like this Andy Kaufman kind of thing that he's got going. Like he wants us all to think that. So that's kind of like the narrative that kind of gets pushed out there. Oh, he just wants the paycheck and all that. And that very well may be true. But I will say this, at age 45, and Pat, if you're in the chat right now, because Pat was at age 45, or if anyone else that's in the chat was there, and if you saw Carpenter's surprise appearance and the panel that he did, he was very sweet, very jokey. Like all of the snarkiness or curmudgeon kind of thing was all done very tongue-in-cheek, very much in jest. Anytime that somebody stood up to ask a question, and most of the times these people were like, I became a filmmaker because of you, and they talked about how he inspired their filmmaking desires and everything, and they would ask about the franchise. He was always very sweet and very gracious to them. So I'm thinking about making a video, just a really quick fun one, just about how, yeah, John Carpenter's not a jerk. He wants you to think he is. I don't know, maybe so people don't take advantage of his niceness, but I think it's just a facade and just a bit of a smokescreen, but fun stuff nonetheless. A little bit off topic, but whatever. It's my channel. Will the Halloween game have a story mode where you play through all the movies? Then I'll buy it. Well, according to what Bill just said, and I haven't checked out all the articles or anything here, Antonis, maybe we'll dive into that once we get a full trailer, and we'll probably have more information about the game at that point. But what Bill from the Everscathed had just said is that the announcement was, Illfonic said it was just going to be centered around the first game or first movie, but they could always add a package to buy some of the other sequels and stuff like that. I think they should at least consider doing part 2, and having a hospital setting would be really fun. Updating the music to have that synth score, with Alan Howarth's contributions, I think could be really great. Sorry, I meant to say like kind of disco score, because it's always sort of synthy, but to add that sort of disco beat there as well. Lido says, I ran into John at the Hyatt on early Saturday morning at Midsummer Scream. He and Jenny and I walked and talked. He's very sweet. See, there you go. So don't believe the people that haven't met him or haven't seen him in person, because I've seen YouTube channels, and one of my favorite YouTubers who's a pretty big timer, and I don't know if he's ever met John Carpenter, but he always kind of feeds into that grumpy narrative, and maybe he's joking when he feeds into that. So that could be, maybe I'm misconstruing the tone there. Let's see here. We got Ryan Olashow in the chat. What's happening, Ryan? Pat says, I think he was blown away at how big the H45 convention was. Yeah, and I thought he was very, very nice. I think most of the snarkiness was actually between him and everyone else on the panel, that they were just kind of like good-natured ribbing each other and giving each other some shit. He was so nice to the people that asked the questions. John's assistant told him he had a big line already, and I said, everyone wants to meet the master. He laughed and said, easy, don't inflate my ego. And we all laughed. He's fun. Yeah, that sounds like John. Very much so. Yeah. That's such an awesome little exchange that you guys got to, just the happenstance of bumping into him. That's the way to do it, because then it doesn't seem like you're pushing anything there. Holy cow, we have 33 people watching the stream right now. Guys, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. And I do have a question for you guys that I'm going to pop up here. I got a poll going for you, or about to get going for you. And then we're going to jump on to some Friday the 13th set photos. So, I just can't get enough of or I should say Crystal Lake set photos, rather. I just can't get enough of that. I don't know what it is. I'm just kind of fascinated with how good the show is looking, and how they're really, buying into and building that 70s kind of vibe that they've got there. Okay, sorry guys, I'm a little focused on just typing and getting the poll in here. It's granted, separating my attention is difficult, especially since I've hardly eaten today. I'm starting to feel it, man. I'm starting to feel it. Okay, here we go. I got a fresh poll there in the chat. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's move on over to here. And I am going to do that. And ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that red. A little bit of black in the red. Oh, yeah. I wish I could remember all the Bob Ross colors. Phthalo green, phthalo blue. What does he call his red? I can't remember what he calls his red. Anyways, any crap. We're gonna do that, and we are gonna do that and this. And actually, what I'm gonna do. Okay, sorry. I'm going to do this, but I am going to take this banner off. I keep on forgetting about the banners blocking the pictures. But all right, guys, we've got some fresh new photos from our guy, Friday the 13th Archivist, over on Instagram. Guys, if you want to keep up on all these pictures that are coming from the Crystal Lake TV show set, then give Friday the 13th Archivist a follow over there on Insta. The link is down in the description, so you can find him there. And if you see something before I see something, please feel free to hit me up, reach out. You can do that through Twitter or Instagram, or if you know me personally, you've got my email or my phone number, so you can text it on over. But yeah, want to make sure we're giving proper credit here because these pictures have been awesome. We just covered some yesterday, and here we are with a fresh batch. And kicking off with a banger of a picture, if I do say so myself. The lighting here is so interesting to me. They're really blowing the light up on the lake there, and it looks like this is late in the day. So it looks like they're doing a little bit of night shooting for this piece. We can't really see. It doesn't look like anything's really happening in the lake at the time of this picture, but just a nice photo to showcase, you know, the lake just lit up beautifully. I think you can see the dock there in the distance on the right, if I'm correct. And yeah, had to start off with this one because I just thought it was so striking and beautiful, honestly. So yeah, there we go. First picture, and we've got Crystal Lake showing there. And then next up, we've got some shots here of Blairstown, New Jersey. So this looks to be the old town downtown. We've got a couple fishermen all dressed up in their 70s fisherman attire. Guys, let me know in the live chat or let me know in the comments down below if you're watching this after the fact. It doesn't look like fisherman attire has really evolved very much. A very classic, dependable look, kind of like a blue jeans and t-shirt look. Like it never goes out of style. Here we go. They even got their bucket hats and everything. And we've got a beautiful vintage vehicle there in the background as well. And hats off, bucket hats off to the people of Blairstown, New Jersey for not modernizing their downtown so much that it couldn't still look like it's got that 70s charm. Just absolutely gorgeous. And we're going to continue with another handful of pictures here from Blairstown. So next up, we've got the fishermen there. Looks like they're either shooting a scene, but also it looks like they may be, you know, discussing something before shooting. We can see that beautiful police car in the foreground. I think that's one of those Grand Furies, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know cars very well. I'm trying to get better about it, but it is an exact replica of the vehicle from the original film from 1980. So nice little shot there of the fishermen, you know, just trying to get, it looks like trying to get everything squared away before shooting their next take. Right here, we've got that Elston oil supply tanker truck that we've seen in a few of these photos that have been released. Almost every batch has got this. So the guy driving this truck must play some sort of important role, or at least featured role. Maybe he's, I don't know, maybe he's trying to date Pamela or something like that. Who the heck knows? You know, we can postulate and theorize all we want. But the truck keeps on popping up, and I've seen the guy in a couple of these photos as well. But, you know, another cool thing about this shot, other than Blairstown being showcased as a city or a town that really has kind of been frozen in time, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. I think that's very charming, genuinely. I love this banner for the Founders Day cookout. Bryden Park, fireworks and fun. So maybe, ooh, what if during the cookout, fireworks and fun the campers or the camp counselors are all off making out and getting busy. Maybe during a fireworks show, something happens. No one can hear Jason's cries for help because of the explosions of the fireworks. We get a fireworks show, you know, intercut and edited with the tragedy of Jason's drowning. And again, I'm just kind of talking out of my ass or just sort of theorizing like what could be a cool idea if this is integrated into the actual story, but also it could just be there just for looks. The fireworks show could have nothing to do, the Founders Day cookout could have nothing to do with the TV show at all, but a fun little shot nonetheless. And then here we've got, you know, the behind the scenes crew, you know, the behind the camera crew moving some stuff as they, you know, go along the downtown area here in Blairstown. We can, of course, see the Elston oil supply truck in the background to the left. And over there on the right, you know, there's that vintage, one of those vintage vehicles, almost looks like the classic from Evil Dead. It's got a very similar look. I doubt that it's the same vehicle, but you know, all those big boat cars back then kind of had that look there. And then moving on here, we've got Christina's Fabrics and Notions, Patterns, Trimming, Books. And another little sign there in the background for, you know, attorneys at law. All right, so a law office right back there. And it looks like down to the middle left, there's a little bit of a pub sign. So just more charm added to Blairstown here. And then another shot of a natural food store called Natural Harvest. Oh, so like a little bit of a little farmer's market indoor kind of vibe here. Just yet again, another piece that adds to the charm and the feel and buying into this world of the 70s. And we did get confirmation from the last batch of photos that this is taking place in 1971. So we've got that confirmed, which means that we could see grown-up Jason early to mid 80s for the movies, which I think is an awesome idea. I think Jason kind of, I'm not going to say he only belongs in the 80s, but I think Jason in the 80s it fits so well. You know, it's kind of the way that a lot of us feel about that flashback scene in Halloween Kills, where some people wanted an entire movie that went back to 1978 and just got to sit in that world. And it looks like we're going to get that opportunity here with a fresh foundation of the canon and the lore for Friday the 13th. Guys, this is a fantastic opportunity that the Crystal Lake TV show has. And ultimately, it's going to come down to their storytelling. That's going to be the most important part. We can, you know, I look at these pictures and I get excited, but if the story stinks, then it's just going to be a good looking show that, you know, isn't going to really resonate. But it's an incredible opportunity to reset the lore, to make Pamela an even bigger part, or at least a more well fleshed out part of the lore. And I think that's what Friday the 13th really needs. I think it's something that was never really solid in the franchise, unfortunately. We knew the basics about Jason, but we really didn't get a solid foundation. So that's what I'm hoping for from the Crystal Lake TV show. And that's why I'm really digging, you know, the fact that they've moved the timetable to the 70s, and also that we're getting something that looks so great. And then here we go. There it is. The Crystal Lake Founders Day celebration. The Bryden Park is at the lake itself. 189th Crystal Lake Founders Day. Is that what that says? Or is that a 139th and I just can't see it from here? And then we've got, an aardvark, must be some sort of pest control van or something like that, as some of the crew sits there. You know, it's picnic tables in the foreground to the left. Just another great shot of the lake here. I don't know, is that truck part of the production? I don't think it is. That looks like a newer truck, so maybe that's just there to actually handle pests on the set. I don't know. Let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments. But yeah, maybe we'll get that scene, you know, or something. Maybe something will happen at that Founders Day celebration, and it will be Jason's demise that happens during that event. That would be, I think that would be a way that would make sense, you know, ultimately. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let me know, you know, how you're feeling about the show. let me know some of your, after looking at some of these pictures, do you have your own theories? Do you have your thoughts? Are there things that you want to see from this TV show? Do you have a feeling that like this thing's going to happen or that thing's going to happen? And just let me know in the live chat if you've got those thoughts. If you're watching after the fact, thank you so much. Jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts down there, and make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think will dig this kind of content, because we cover horror news all the time, guys. TV, movies, video games, comic books, whatever it is, especially if it's something that I'm passionate about or the community is passionate about, we'll share it here. So yeah, make sure you've got that notification bell hit and you won't miss a thing. Okay, guys, thank you so much for bearing with me on all of that. I'm going to go back over, and then I'm going to do that, and I'm going to jump back into the comments and see what you guys think about these Crystal Lake photos. And if you're sick of me sharing this stuff, then you can let me know that too. But really quick here, I just want to reshare these. Thank you so much, Maxwell, for the £2 there, and thank you so much, Lido, for the $1.99. Lido wishes he could have scored the Halloween game. That would have been a big one right there. Yeah, I guess they just go straight to the source when John is the producer, though, huh? Okay, let me jump in and see what you guys are saying, and then I'm gonna have to skip on out because I've got to see if I can eat something before this 3-hour work meeting I'm jumping into. So yeah, Van Dyke Brown was my favorite. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, the Bob Ross colors. Yeah, Aaron, I didn't either. This was all, Ben Grimm dropped into that late night stream that you were part of earlier today, our Before Dark late night, and let us know that there was this Halloween trailer that dropped. So didn't expect to do this, but here we are. Aaron says, I don't really care about video games, but I'm happy for people who do care. Yeah, I'm not the biggest gamer myself, but this definitely does speak to me for sure. Will this show become movies one day? That's what it sounds like, Antonis, is that we had a news story last week that we covered, and it sounds like the Jason universe and the Crystal Lake people are going to be sharing the rights. So maybe what will happen is it'll be kind of a handoff, a passing of the baton. So maybe Crystal Lake will do their thing for a couple seasons, and then the Jason universe will start making their movies, and they'll make their movies. They'll use the show as a launch pad for that. Yeah, the cars are great. I don't know. I guess I like them both, but I'll say, I mean, Jason, because he's the icon of the franchise. But I think Pamela is really important. We just haven't gotten her very much. Thank you so much, Lido. Really appreciate it. I know I got to get some food as well. Have a great dinner. Yes, I need to eat. You can tell. You can tell I'm not even. Am I not making sense? Go eat, man. What's happening, Eli? Hope you are doing well. Oh, and it looks like you guys don't have much to say about the pictures. You know what? I'm going to keep on covering it just because I really love showing these off, and I really love putting them out as snipped out sections there. But I totally get it if you guys are like, does it have to be every day with these damn pictures? It doesn't have to be every day. But yeah, guys, this can be just kind of a quick stream here. If you missed everything we covered before, go ahead and scrub on back. Check out that Halloween video game trailer. And check out some of the thoughts and drop your own thoughts down in the comments below. But yeah, I've got a work meeting here in about a half hour, so I am going to scoot. But before that, I'm going to take a look at the poll that I popped in there. 24 votes. What's most important to you in horror games? And let's check out our results here. 58% say scares and atmosphere. 29% say replayability. That's a big one for me. 12% say lore accuracy, and 0% say killer powers. There you go. Yeah, somebody get me a burger. Somebody get this guy some Pepto-Bismol. Yeah, please get me a burger. I'm just going to make myself a sandwich really quick. No worries. Drink some electrolytes, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're all good. Thank you so much, guys, for jumping in. I know it was a last-minute stream, but I like doing these short ones, especially if we have something that, breaking news to cover. So really appreciate you guys jumping on in. I might be, oh yeah, tomorrow I set up a stream for tomorrow, didn't I? Yes, guys. So 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, 9 p.m. UK time. That's right, UK people. You are getting 2 nighttime streams in a row. I want to make sure we do not forget about you guys and leave you guys behind. This one is called Childhood Scares, gateway horror films that traumatized us. So we're going to talk about the Monster Squad, Gremlins, Beetlejuice, The Witches, Poltergeist, Coraline, Return to Oz, The Gate, Ernest Scared Stupid, 80s, 90s, 2000s, whenever you were a little kid growing up and you were watching these horror movies or these gateway movies, that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK, and 1 p.m. out here on the west coast of the state. So thank you guys so very much. Really appreciate everyone that dropped a super chat. Really appreciate the Patreon members, the YouTube channel members. You guys are amazing. You help push this dream closer to a reality every single day. Thank you so much. And of course, big shout out to our group of Death Squad mods. I love you all so very much. It's amazing. 14 days, no alcohol. I am feeling great, feeling very energized, and just looking forward to creating a whole bunch of content here on the channel. And guys, if you missed the Late Night Before Dark that aired earlier today, the replay is available on the page. Make sure you tune into that, but be warned, all sorts of spoilers for weapons. So either don't care about being spoiled or, you know, go into the stream having seen the film already. But there we go. That is going to wrap it up this time around, but you guys know how it goes. Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.